This conference will now be recorded.
Everybody, please go on mute. Okay. In the last session, we were talking about basic fundamentals or basic information related to costing sheet. We started understanding from a perspective where you are going to manufacture a product. Go top. Sorry. We started understanding from here. We wanted to understand or we wanted to manufacture a product which we wanted to sell to a customer in the market. So before you manufacture any product, you are going to decide what will be the cost of your production, and according to your cost of production, what profit margin you are going to decide. According to that, you are going to decide a selling price to be sold in the market to various customer. For that, we understood there is something called cost sheet or costing sheet, which contains the breakup of your cost. According to your costing sheet, you are going to decide, or you are going to have an estimated projection of your manufacturing cost, profit margin, plus a selling price. Now, before you do any manufacturing or before you come to this stage, there are other fundamental points that you need to understand from a basic point of view. Let us see what are those basic fundamental points. Let's say I'm talking about raw material. So when you're talking about raw material, this raw material you can also call it as input material. Currently, I'm not writing other terminology. Let us try to understand. There is something called raw material and there is something called conversion cost. Raw material cost and then the conversion cost will give you finished material. In short, if I say that my raw material cost is 100 and my conversion cost is, let's say, 30, and my finished material will be costing me 130 rupees. Now you need to understand what is part of my raw material, what is part of my conversion cost, and how come my finished product is becoming 130 rupees. There are multiple ways, there are multiple logics which you can apply to arrive at finished product cost. Basically the FG cost or header material cost or final material or output material cost. When I'm talking about raw material, this is nothing but the various components or different kind of input material, other materials that are used in the production process. Whenever you're talking about any production process, you need to understand production happens in a plant. You are going to manufacture a product in a plant. Why you need to manufacture in a plant? Because there is nothing called a manual production. If you take any organization, if you take any company, nobody is going to produce any material manually. Everybody is going to produce a material based on the machinery. Everybody is going to produce a material based on the machinery. If you look at from your asset accounting point of view, if you look at from your asset accounting point of view, there are various kind of asset groupings there. Grouping in the sense asset classes. You have land and building. There is something called plant and machinery. We will not call it as only machinery. You will always call it as plant and machinery because you are going to install, you are going to set up machinery always in the plant. Because machinery you are not going to use as a regular asset. Machinery will always be used for production purpose or manufacturing purpose. When you are manufacturing a machinery, when you are manufacturing any product using a machinery, this machinery is always set up or this machinery is always installed at a plant. Plant is nothing but a place where your manufacturing activities are going on. Now you need to understand there is something called plant. In plant you have a machinery. Now this machinery will be used to produce a material. Now when you are using any organization, when you are manufacturing any product, you are not going to produce a single product. You are not going to produce a single product. This single product manufacturing is a different point. If it is a very high value material, only then it is a single production. Otherwise, it is called as a mass production, batch production, or bulk production. Meaning The moment I set up or the moment I start my machinery is capable to produce a huge quantity at one go. For example, I am producing, for example, let's say water bottles. If I am producing water bottle, it is not that I am going to produce a single water bottle at a time. For that, I don't need any machinery there. I can manually do it, but manually I cannot create a water bottle in a different size or in a different dimension, whatever it is. What I'll do, I am going to take the order only if the minimum quantity is this much. Even when you look at anything, nobody will manufacture for single unit. Or even if somebody is accepting certain order for a single unit, they will be charging you higher cost, whether you take single product or whether you take 100 product, they say that it will be the same cost. Why? Because their other cost, when I say the other cost, the production cost which is associated with the manufacturing will remain the same irrespective of the quantity that you are producing. When I say irrespective of the quantity of production you are producing, there are certain costs which you cannot control. These are all nothing but your fixed cost. When I say fixed cost, this fixed cost will remain same irrespective of your output. Based on your output, there is a some more cost called as variable cost. If my quantity is increasing, my variable cost will be increasing. If my quantity is decreasing, my variable cost will be decreasing. Whereas when it comes to your fixed cost, irrespective of your quantity, your cost will remain the same. There are certain cost which is categorized as fixed. There are certain cost which is categorized as over variable. We need to understand why we are calling it as a fixed cost, why we are calling it as a variable cost, and what makes a difference between this fixed and variable. In some cases, fixed cost may become variable cost. In the other cases, variable cost may become a fixed cost. It completely depends on the business to business, production to production, product to product, company to company. There is no fixed rule and regulation for it. Meaning, you're not supposed to understand the things in a fixed way. You need to understand things in such a way that unless and until you know the complete cycle of the manufacturing process relating to any product that you're taking, it is practically not possible for us to understand. When I say practically not possible for us to understand, you may be randomly taking an example in your mind. When I say you may be randomly taking an example in your mind, any product, any product. For example, I am taking that I want to manufacture a water bottle, for example. I'm not manufacturing water, I'm manufacturing a water bottle. Let's say I'm a water bottle supplier. I'm not a water supplier, I'm just a water bottle supplier. I may be taking orders from different companies, like you have Bisleri, you have Pepsi, you have various brands who are actually selling water in the market. Let's say I am the wholesaler, I am the manufacturer of this water bottle. If I get an order from Pepsi, if I get an order from Coca-Cola, if I get an order from Bisleri or any other water bottle manufacturing company, according to their design, I am going to manufacture the bottle. According to their design, I am going to manufacture the bottle, but I am not going to take the order if they want only 10 bottles, if they want only 20 bottles. I will be taking the order only if I am getting order for minimum of 1000 bottle or a minimum of 10,000 bottle, minimum of 100,000 bottle, because I am going to run a machine. When I run the machine, my machine is capable of producing, let's say, 25,000 bottles in one lot. When I switch on the machine, when I run the machine for 1 hour, my machine is capable to produce 25,000 bottles as output. Now I have to run the machine for 1 hour to prepare the water bottle as an output. Now it is immaterial for me whether I produce 25,000 or I produce one bottle. I have to run the machinery for 1 hour. I need to have supervisors. I need to have labor. I need to put fuel and other content in the machinery, which is going to be a fixed cost. Which is going to be a fixed cost. It is not connected straight away to my production that I am going to do it. It is immaterial whether I am bringing 25,000 water bottles from the machinery or I am going to bring only 12,000, only 5,000, only 100. Irrespective of the quantity of output that I am going to generate, I still have to bear same cost to do the production. These kind of a cost you are going to reclass or you are going to represent as a fixed cost. Cost from the controlling point of view is also termed as overhead. Cost from the manufacturing point of view can also be represented as overhead. Don't get confused between cost and overhead, but don't call it as expense. From the controlling point of view, from the manufacturing point of view, we don't call it as an expense. Expense, you will be calling it from the accounting perspective. When it comes to costing, when it comes to controlling, you will be representing cost or the overhead. The ideal term that you are supposed to use is overhead. Okay, whatever the thing that you're using a cost center, using a production, it is always recommended you use a term called overhead. Fixed overhead, variable overhead. Now when you're manufacturing a water bottle, for example, you have to put the same cost. Now the same example, if you treat it in your real life, for example, I want to prepare idli. I want to prepare idli. Now let's say I have a idli container. To prepare idli, you cannot casually prepare it. You need idli container, or let's say you need idli cooker. Assuming that I have idli container, I have idli cooker. This is my machinery in this case. In this case, this is my machinery that I need to use it. Now for this machinery, what I need my input. When I say I need my input, I need the instant idli mixer or whatever, the flour, whatever you have, the instant, whatever that is called, that dough, whatever, that content you need. And that content you need to put it, or you need to arrange in the idli plate. You have idli container, inside that you will have idli plates. Now it depends on what is the size of your idli container. Let's say my idli plates, maybe there may be, let's say 3 plate container, or maybe 4 plate container, 6 plate container. In short, at one size or at one shot, I can prepare, let's say, either 16 idlis, or 24 idlis, or 36 idlis, or 50 idlis, or 100 idlis, depending on the size of my container. Depending on size of my container. Now, is there any link, any connection between, now for this container to run, for this idli container to bring idli as your output, your input is, you know what is your input, you know how to prepare your input material, what effort is required, and the moment your input material is ready, the moment your input material is ready, you need to send your input material to a processing. You need to send your input material to a processing. That processing is nothing but idli cooker. Now this idli cooker is your machinery. This idli cooker is your machinery. It's a single process. Idli cooker is a single process. Take the input material and then put it in the idli plate container. Place that inside this, and then you need to run it. You cannot just like that do it. You cannot just like that do it, and there are other activities which are related to it. What are the other activities? You need gas. You need gas, or you need electric stove. And either you need to heat it using gas, or you need to heat it using electricity. But heating is an activity there. You need to do the heating. Now when you're heating it, there is a time for it. When I say you need to heat it, there is a time for it. It is not that I'll put it for 1 hour. If you put it for 1 hour, you know that what is going to be your output. Output is not as expected if you put for 1 hour. Meaning there is a predefined timeline. Let's say I need to put on the stove, or I need to heat the container, let's say for 10 minutes, or let's say for 15 minutes. Now 10 minutes, not in every situation. Now this 10 minutes depends. This 10 minutes depend on what is your flame. Is it on low? Is it on medium? Is it on high? Is it recommended to put it on low? Is it recommended to put it on high? Or is it recommended to put it on medium? Or it is recommended on a mixed basis, meaning first 5 minutes you put it on low flame, and then the next 2 minutes you put it on high flame. Last 2 minutes again you put it on medium flame. There may be any combination, there may be any instruction which you need to strictly follow to bring the proper output. To bring the proper output. Otherwise, your output will come, but not as expected. Your output will come, but not as expected, because something is missing there. Now, if I say that this is the timeline, let's say 10 minutes heating is required. 10 minutes heating is required to produce idli. Now, is this 10 minutes depending on 4 idli, 24 idli, 36 idli, or irrespective of my output? Is it the same time? Those who prepare idli, those who saw how idlis are prepared? Yes, no?
irrespective of quantities of it is.
I think.
I said that 10 minutes you need to put the idli container on the stove, or 10 minutes you need to heat it to get your idli as an output. Now, is it dependent on if you put 4 idlis 10 minutes, if I put 8 idlis 20 minutes, if I put 16 idlis 30 minutes, is it like that?
No, no,
No.
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 It is not like that. Now, it is immaterial. For example, for this 10 minutes of heating, just an assumption, I am getting a cost of, let's say, 10 rupees. There is a 10 rupees cost. 10 rupees per 10 minutes. Let's say this is my cost. Either electricity cost or gas consumption cost. I'm assuming that 1 minute it will be 1 rupee. Just an example, don't practically relate it. Just an example, for 10 minutes it will be 10 rupees. Now, if I'm producing, let's say, 12 idlis. If I'm producing 12 idlis, now this 10 rupees will be shared by how many idlis?
12.
Hmm?
12, sir.
12 idlis. If I produce a 16 idli,
Then 16.
16.
if I produce 24 idli,
24.
what is the cost here? If I produce 12 idli, what is my heating cost?
$10.
10
sir.
rupees.
$10
Hmm?
per 10 minutes.
If my output is 12 idlis, what will be the cost for heating?
Same, right?
10.
10 rupees
10.
on
It is 10 rupees. If my quantity is 16 idli,
10
10,
rupees.
10, sir.
same 10 rupees. Here also it is 10 rupees. Am I correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, can I call it as a fixed cost? Fixed overhead?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right? This has got nothing to do with my output. Whether I produce single idli, I produce 24 idli, I produce 200 idli, I need to heat it for 10 minutes. I need to heat it for 10 minutes. For heating the 10 minutes, I am getting 10 rupee cost. So here, if I say I am going to do 10 rupee here, let's say, per unit cost is always is equal to total cost by number of units. They're all the basic formulas, basic fundamentals you need to remember. These are not related to SAP. I'm not talking anything related to SAP here. I'm talking with a generic basic fundamental examples with which we will all be able to relate ourselves. Alright, now here it will be total cost is 10 rupees. Total output is 12 idli here. Here my cost per idli is 0.83. Agree? Yes or no? My heating cost per idli is
Yes.
83 pice. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
Now
sir.
here when I'm producing 16 idli, this is going to be 10 divided by 16. This has become 62.5, meaning 0.625. If I put 2 decimal alone here, here it is 0.83, here it is 0.63. When I produce 24 idli, this is going to be 24 divided by 10. Sorry, 10 divided by 24. Don't get confused. Always put value on the top, quantity on the bottom. Don't get confused which one to be divided by which one. Always remember value on the top, quantity on the bottom, meaning value divided by quantity. 10 divided by 24. If you see this, the moment you are increasing the quantity or the moment you are increasing the production output, your fixed cost is getting reduced per unit. Yes or no?
Yes.
Sir, yes.
Yes, sir.
Right? My fixed cost, though it is a fixed cost, because of my quantity that I'm increasing, I'm able to reduce cost per unit. Now, in order to reduce cost per unit, I need to make sure maximum utilization of the capacity. When I say maximum utilization of the capacity, just like that, don't do it. You understand what is the capacity of your machinery or your labor whatsoever. Accordingly, you utilize, accordingly plan your production, plan your manufacturing to make sure that you achieve maximum output with minimum input or with less cost. Otherwise, you will be achieving the output, but you will also be incurring more cost, which is not ideal, not expected by any management, any organization. That is the reason they always wanted to measure how it is going to be utilized. How do I optimize my production cost? In order to optimize your production cost, you need to have a proper planning. When I say you need to have a proper planning in terms of everything, right from raw material until your finished product cost, until your cost of production, until your total cost, you need to make sure everything is properly planned. You take any example, I took idli here, you take anything. I took idli because everybody knows how idli is prepared. If I tell any particular product, any chemical, any liquid or any other product, we may be able to understand, we may not be able to understand. Here, you're not understanding a particular product, you're understanding the logic, you're understanding the concept. To understand the logic, to understand the concept, always take an example with which you feel you are connected to. If you are connected to an example, it is fine. Now, for example, you replace the same thing. Replace the same thing. Now, this is clear. Idli example.
Yes, sir.
I'm not connecting the dots, I'm just placing the dots now. I'll connect the dots later on, but before I start connecting the dots in your mind, I need you to have the dot in your mind. Okay, why I'm telling idli and all, I'll tell later on. But now I just want you to understand why we're talking about it. Now let's say every day we are eating idli. Let's say tomorrow we are going to plan dosa. Let's eat dosa tomorrow morning. Now, can I get it immediately? Or I need to plan if I want to eat dosa tomorrow, assuming you're not going and eating in the hotel. Whenever you're understanding this, please remember you're not going and eating in a hotel. You are preparing at your home. When I say you're preparing at your home, nothing doing, you have to do everything on your own. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Alright. Now for that, what you need something called dosa batter. Forget about how this is being prepared. This is not a ready-made. This is not a ready-made. If you're considering this as a ready-made, this ready-made also contains, now for example, if I buy dosa batter, let's say, what is that? Packet. Assume that I buy dosa batter packet. Now, on the back side of this packet, everybody would have seen dosa batter packet, yes, no? Which you get in the market, supermarket, all this kind of places,
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
right? On the back side of it, I'm talking about anything that you're talking about, please take a branded one. When I say please take a branded one, where name and other details are mentioned, don't take an example which is irrelevant for our understanding. When I say irrelevant for our understanding, in your street there may be a dosa batter shop where they may be packing in a cover, but which is a pure, transparent cover, nothing is written on it. That is also possible. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
There may be a street
Yes.
vendor in your locality who may be selling it, but they may be packing it in a packet which doesn't have any information. But we're not talking such examples. It is also very important what kind of example you're taking, how you're relating it. If these points you're unable to identify, recognize, it is again practically not possible for us to understand. Now again, I'll explain again why I am telling there are two kind of packets. One packet is a completely transparent packet which is used by a street vendor. Another packet is used by a brand, an organization, where they list out, they mention their product name, manufacturing date, best before, everything is mentioned. If you go to a supermarket, there are two packets available. One packet without any manufacturing date, without any best before date. There is one more packet which contains manufacturing date, best before date. Which one are you going to buy? Are you going to buy the one which shows the manufacturing date details, or which is completely transparent without any details? Which one will you buy?
With
It shows
manufacturing
the
details.
manufacturing.
With manufacturing date. You're not going to buy a transparent one. Now here you're taking an example where you're talking about an organization, where you're talking about manufacturing plant, manufacturing unit. There we are just taking these examples just to make sure we get the logic, we understand the concept. Now if I take this on the backside of this packet, on the backside of any packaged food that you're taking, okay, there is something called ingredients. Anybody saw this term on the packet of, on any packet on the backside?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You take chocolate, you take biscuit, you take dosa batter, anything, any edible item for that matter. We are only considering, we are only trying to understand certain points. For that, whatever is the relevant example, only those points I'm going to mention now. Meaning, I'm just placing a dot in your mind. I'm not connecting any dots. I'm just placing the dots. Now, if you look at ingredient, what will be there in the ingredient? Now, for example, for this ingredient, let me take another example. Let's say
Raw material
ingredients,
quantity.
simple one. Let's say fruit and nut chocolate. Assuming that we're talking about, those who are not talking, please go on mute, or after talking, immediately go on mute so that we don't get echo. We're talking about a chocolate, which is basically a fruit and nut chocolate. On the backside of it, there may be something written called maybe milk, maybe cocoa powder, let's
Sugar.
say
Sugar.
yeah, fruit, what is it? Okay, fruit, sugar, nuts, anything else? Let's say these are the products. Is it only this is mentioned, or any proportion is also mentioned?
Proportion as well.
Percentage they mentioned.
Right? Meaning they also mentioned the proportion. Let's say milk, let's say they mentioned 10% of milk, or 30% of this one. Some kind of a proportion is also mentioned, right? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Next time, whenever you look at any packet or any chocolate, biscuit, whatever, anything which you are eating from a packaged content, turn back, look at the ingredient, identify what is written there. Identify what is written there. Now, this content is called as ingredient. There is a term called BOM. Anybody heard BOM? Anybody heard BOM in terms of SAP?
Bill of
Yes. Bill
material.
of material.
Bill of
Bill of
material.
material.
Bill
Bill
of
of material.
material.
Contains the
Now,
components and quantity of the manufacturing product.
now this bill of material is nothing but ingredients I'm telling. Am I correct? I'm saying BOM is nothing but ingredients on any packet. Backside if you turn. Is my statement
And
Yes.
correct?
quantity.
Yes.
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 And, and quantity.
Right? The quantity is different. Okay? This is the bill of material. Now, where you are looking at these ingredients on a product, right? On a product packing,
Yes.
right? On a product packing, you're looking at it. That product is manufactured with the help of these products. Agree?
Yes.
Right? The product that you're holding, the product that you're looking at is not these products. That product contains these products in that manufacturing process. Is my statement correct?
Yes.
Now, these products, whatever I am listing here, this is stuck. One sec. These products, whatever I am listing here, can I call it as input or raw materials? Can I call them as raw materials or input material? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right? What product I am holding in my hand now when I'm looking at it?
Chocolate.
I'm holding chocolate. Can I call this chocolate as a output material or a finished material or a main
Finished
product?
material.
You
Yes.
call it as a
Right? This I can call it as finished material or output material or a header material also. Different terms will be used that slowly you will be able to understand, but at this moment basic fundamental points, meaning we will just put dots only. We are not going to connect any dot. Let us put only a dot so that there is no point of confusion. When you're trying to connect the dot at this stage, that leads to unwanted confusion which we do not want. Once we have the sufficient dots in our mind, then let us try to connect the dot. Then you will be able to easily understand why we are connecting the dots in a different way, because you connect in any way. For connecting the dots, first you need to have the dot in your mind. Once you have this dot, it's easy for you to connect it. Though you are going in a straight manner, a zigzag manner, you will not get confused. If those dots are missing currently, it is practically again not possible. Okay, now if I take these products, if I take this input product, if I take this input product and if I put it in the mixer grinder, can I get chocolate?
no.
Hmm?
No.
No. If I take all these things and then if I take in my hand, like the way you do roti kind of this thing and all, can I do like that? Can I get a chocolate?
No.
Meaning I need to do something with it. I have this
Process.
material. I need to do something to make these products into a chocolate as an output. Agree?
Yes.
Right? Now, if I am making a chocolate, it's not that I am making it today. If you wanted to make it for one time, there's no need of all this kind of a thing. You can directly go and buy from the market. Agree? If you wanted to taste it for one time, do you need to prepare it or you just need to go and buy? If you wanted to eat chocolate one time, do you need to do manufacture the chocolate or you need to buy the chocolate? What is ideal?
Buy the
We will
chocolate.
buy
Buy
the
the chocolate.
chocolate.
Buy the
If you wanted to
chocolate.
eat one time, you'll buy the chocolate. Why you wanted to manufacture? If you wanted to eat, instead of manufacturing, buying is more easier. To manufacture, you may invest 100 rupees. To buy, you may spend in 10 rupees. Agree? And in
Yes,
100
sir.
rupees, you will get 15 variety of chocolates. So why do you want to manufacture when you're getting better options while you're buying? Meaning here you need to understand which one is better option. Either buying is a better option or or manufacturing is a better option. It completely differs on your requirement. Sometimes buying may be a better option, sometimes manufacturing may be a better option. Possible,
Possible.
right?
Yes, sir.
There's
It
no fixed
depends on
rule
the
for it,
quantity.
right? It purely depends on your requirement. Accordingly, you have to take a decision. Now, sometimes you decided, now in this situation, we've decided we are going to manufacture it. In this situation, we have decided we are going to manufacture it. Reason, you are going to sell it. Agree? You are deciding to manufacture because you are going to sell it. Yes or no? Is that correct? You are deciding to manufacture because you wanted to sell it,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? Because you wanted to sell it, you are manufacturing it because this is your product. What product? This is a saleable product. Am I correct? Is this a saleable product?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right? If it is a saleable product, are you selling one day or are you selling every day? Or for
Every day.
for couple of
Every
years near future, maybe you would be deciding this product we will be manufacturing for next 5 years. That is how you are going to do the planning, right? Maybe after 5 years you may be discontinuing this product. You may add additional, or you may be doing additional research after 5 years based on the market requirement. You may improvise the product, but at this moment, for next 5 years, you are planning to manufacture, sell the product in the market. For example, can I manufacture the product today for next 5 years? Is that possible?
No, no, it has
No.
to be in batch.
no.
Not possible. I cannot manufacture today the sufficient quantity for next 5 year, or for next 2 year, for next 3 year. It is practically not going to happen, because though I'm able to manufacture it one day, but I'll not be able to sell it. Agree? I also need to
Yes.
consider what is my selling capability in the
Demand.
market, whether my product
Demand.
can be sold or not, what will be the demand and all. Unless and until your product is reaching to the market, is reaching to the end customer, you will not be able to decide what will be the response. Agree? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Unless and until your product is reaching to the market, your product is used by the customer, you will not know what is the response, what is the feedback, what is the review. If the feedback, response, everything is good, you may be increasing the production. If it is not good as expected, you first want to finish whatever is already manufactured. Agree? Why you want to manufacture again and
Yes.
again and then dump it? At the end, you are incurring unwanted losses. Meaning everything will have to be based on a strategy. Everything will have to be based on a research. Now, assuming that you are not going to manufacture one day for the next 2 year, next 3 year, next 1 year, what is going to happen? Today I am going to manufacture, let's say, some 1,000 chocolates. Today I'm going to manufacture 1,000 chocolate. Now, since I'm manufacturing 1,000 chocolate, is it okay? One chocolate is very tasty, another chocolate is not okay. One more chocolate is, sugar is more in one chocolate. Sugar is little less in another chocolate. Is that acceptable or not acceptable?
Definitely not
Not
acceptable.
acceptable.
Because you're representing a brand here. Agree? Because you're representing a brand here. When you're representing a brand, your product, taste, color, content, quantity, in short, the attributes of your product are not supposed to get changed. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, no? You eat any biscuit, you eat any chocolate, you drink any cool drink whatsoever. Every time when you taste it, if the taste is getting differed, if brand is changed, taste is changed, that is acceptable. Brand is the same, taste is changed, is it acceptable?
No, sir. No.
No, right? Meaning you need to take care of it or not. You need to take care of it, or you are not supposed to take care of it. It's okay.
No, we
Yes,
have
sir.
to
We
take
need
care.
to take care of it.
We have to
You
take
have to take care of it. Now, in any organization, manufacturing is manual or automatic?
automatic.
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 Automatic. Whenever you are talking about automatic, it is not man-made, it is machine-made. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
When I'm
Yes, sir.
talking about automatic, it is not made by a man or a labor, it is made by a machine or equipment. Now, when the equipment is used, you need to make sure machine doesn't know how to do it. Machine requires some inputs, machine requires some logic, some instructions, guidance,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Manpower.
right?
Yes.
Now, when your machine requires some guidance, meaning you need to have a logic. When I say you need to have a logic, first thing what you're going to do is you are going to do a you are going to do a testing. When I say you're going to do a testing, you cannot test, you cannot experiment 1,000 chocolates. Agree?
Yes, sir.
You cannot experiment on 1,000 chocolate. Instead, what you're going to do is you're going to experiment one chocolate. When I say you're going to experiment one chocolate, at the end, your customer is going to eat one chocolate, right? Your customer is not going to eat 1,000 chocolate. Yes or no? So you need to make sure to produce one chocolate or to make one chocolate, to prepare one chocolate. What is the input that we need to do it? Now it again depends. I'm just taking one chocolate as an example just to simplify the things. I'm just taking one chocolate as an example just to simplify the thing. For example, to prepare one chocolate. Now here when you're looking at a chocolate, for example, let me put, I'm talking about dairy milk chocolate, I think, which is known to everybody. Everybody is aware of dairy milk chocolate. If you go to a shop, do you find same dairy milk chocolate or variety of dairy milk chocolates?
Variety of dairy
Variety.
milk.
Okay, let's say we are talking about basic or plain dairy milk chocolate. I'm talking about a plain dairy milk chocolate, no silk, no bubble, no fruit and nut, nothing. It's a plain dairy milk chocolate. Now, is it available at the same price or the same chocolate is available at different prices?
Same price.
Same price.
Mhm.
Same price, same quality. Prices.
Think again, is it available at the same price or at a different
No, sir,
prices?
there are
No,
prices.
sir.
For
It's a
example,
different prices. Yeah, different
Access
prices.
it.
Can I get a dairy milk chocolate for 2 rupees? Can I get a dairy milk chocolate for 5 rupees? Can I
Yes.
get it for 10 rupees? Can I get it for 20 rupees? You're able to make out what I want you to I want to convey?
Yeah, depends
Yes,
upon
no?
the quantity, sir. Like
Pack and
size of,
pack
yes.
Right?
pack.
Depend upon the
Everywhere it
taste.
is the same, not taste. It's the same plain dairy milk chocolate I'm representing. Plain dairy milk chocolate. I'm not representing any silk, any fruit and nut, any XYZ variant. I'm simply talking about a basic dairy milk chocolate which is available in the market for 2 rupees, 5 rupee, 10 rupee, 20 rupee, 50 rupee and then 100 rupee. Every chocolate that you eat, it will be the same taste because it is the same thing. Just that 2 rupees may be, let's say, 2 gram, 5 rupee may be 5 gram, 10 rupees may be 10 gram, 20 rupee may be 20 gram, possible,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Difference in size or quantity.
right? Now, at the
Yes.
end, it is the same chocolate. At the end, it is the same chocolate, but rate is different the chocolate, because the chocolate quantity is different. Can I use
Sweet.
same packing, same cover for all these chocolates, or I need to change the packing?
No, sir.
You
Need
need
to
to
Change the
change
change
the
the
pack.
pack.
I need to change packing, meaning 2 rupees chocolate should be packed in a different packet, 5 rupee chocolate should be packed in a different packet. I cannot say I will use the same packet, 100 rupee chocolate is also in the same packet, 2 rupee chocolate is also in the same packet. Maybe in the 100 rupee chocolate you may find something is there inside. In 2 rupee chocolate you may not find anything because packet is very big, chocolate is very small. Possible?
No, sir.
If I use same packet for all the quantities, what will happen? I am using one packet for 100 rupee chocolate, same packet which I am using for 100 rupee chocolate. If I use it for 2 rupee chocolate, what will happen? Will customer be able to notice that there is a chocolate inside?
No, sir.
No, right?
Not and cost.
Packet is very
It's
big,
cost.
chocolate is very small. Meaning I need to make sure or I need to take care of these things or also not. Should I take care of these things or not required?
You
Yes, sir.
should
You
take
should
care.
take care of this.
You should take care of it, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, you should take care of it. Now, for you to manufacture it, can I manufacture everything as the same process or I need to manufacture 2 rupees separate, 5 rupees separate, 10 rupees separate? The process should remain the same or it should be completely different.
Same process.
Process is same.
It should be the same. At the end, it is the same variant. At the end, it is the same variant. The difference comes when you're packing it. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Difference comes when you're packing it. When I say difference is coming when you're packing it, if it is a 2 rupee chocolate, let's say you may be packing your chocolate dimension, your chocolate size, or your chocolate position may be different. If it is 5 rupee, your chocolate design and all may be different, meaning you may be having a different kind of mold, different kind of design size and all. Accordingly, system is going, accordingly, your machinery will segregate. Agree? Once your base is created,
Yes, sir. Agreed.
from the same output, you are going to separate based on the different dimensions that you are going to do it. Now, according to you as a manufacturer, you as a manufacturer, how many materials I need to create? These are all finished materials or raw materials? 5, 10, 10, 20 and all.
Finished material.
Finished.
Finished material.
These are all finished material. Now, everything is dairy milk plain chocolate, but within the plain dairy milky chocolate, how many chocolates I need to create now? How many material masters are required?
6.
6. Are these 6 materials called as raw material, semi-finished material, finished material, or packing material?
Finished material.
Finished material.
Finished material.
All are finished material, am I correct? Because you are
Yes.
able to sell all these materials in the market, meaning in the market, your chocolate is available for 2 rupees. It is a separate material. Similarly, your material is also available for 5 rupees. It is a separate material. Accordingly, you need to segregate, meaning understanding the manufacturing process is also not enough. Segregating how it is to be made. Segregating how it is to be made is also very, very important. Otherwise, that is going to put us in trouble. Trouble in the sense, you may not be able to practically relate what is actually happening. Now, these are your different output material. Now, for me to do it, let's say these are all my input material. Now I need to make sure every time that I'm manufacturing a product or I'm manufacturing a chocolate, it should come out with the same taste. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Every chocolate should come out with the same taste. To make sure every chocolate is coming out with the same taste, to make sure every chocolate is coming out with the same taste, I need to take care of it. It's not like it's okay if one or two chocolates are tasteless, it's okay, manage it. That is not going to be okay, because that will give a negative impact in the market for your brand, for your product, which no company will accept. So that is why what you will do, you are going to do the production, you are going to do the manufacturing. Others, those who are not talking, please be on mute. Sayed Noor, can you go on mute, please? Okay. We need to make sure every manufacturing, every production that you're doing, we will be doing it at a mass production level, in short, at a lot level or at a batch level. When I say at a batch level, today I am running the machinery. For example, today I am running the machinery. I need to know what is my machine capacity. When I say I need to know what is my machine capacity, for example, my machine can produce 1,000 chocolates at a time. My machine can produce 1,000 chocolates at a time. What is the ideal thing that you are going to do? Are you going to create one chocolate 1,000 times, or at a time 1,000 chocolates?
At a
At a
time,
time,
1,000.
1,000 chocolate.
At a time, thousands.
At a time 1,000 chocolates. There is no meaning that you are creating one chocolate 1,000 times, because you also need to take care of fixed cost. You also need to take care of variable cost. Agree?
Yes, sir.
You need to take care of a variable cost. You also need to take care of a variable cost. Variable cost, whether you run one time, whether you run 1,000 times, it is going to be the same. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Variable cost, whether you do it one time or you do it 1,000 times, it will remain the same. Is my statement correct?
No. Fixed cost will
Variable
be
cost
same.
will
Fixed cost.
fixed cost will be same.
No,
Variable cost will varying.
no.
Based on the quantity, variable cost will change.
for example. Where is it?
Okay, variable cost per unit you are saying, right, sir?
Yeah. Let me put this
Per
here.
unit
For
it will not
example,
get changed. Yeah.
per chocolate. Let's say I'm just talking about value. Let's say this is 2 rupees, this is 3 rupees, this is 0.50, this is 0.30, this is, let's say, 1 rupee. Overall, this is going to be 6.8. Is this okay? 6.8. Ignore the breakup, just look at the total.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is per chocolate. If I say for 1000 chocolates, what is going to happen? 2 multiplied by 1000,
Yes, sir.
3 multiplied by 1000. Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
0.5 multiplied by 1000. 0.3
Yes, sir.
multiplied by 1000. 1 multiplied by 1000. Now overall, my cost is
6,800.
6800. Okay. Now run machine for one chocolate one time. What will be the cost?
6.8.
6.8.
6.8.
Agree?
Yes,
Now
sir.
run machine for 1000 chocolates one time. What will be the cost?
6,800.
Agree with these two statements, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
No, sir.
Run for 1000 chocolates 1000 times. What is the cost?
6,800 multiplied
6,000.
by 1,000.
Hmm?
6.8 times 1,000 times 1,000.
6,800, sir.
It will be 6800 only.
Same
Here,
only.
your cost
Yeah.
is per unit. One chocolate, 6.8. Irrespective of whether you do it one time, 1000 time, 100,000 time. One chocolate, your variable cost is always dependent on quantity only. If your quantity increases, variable cost increases. If your cost decreases, variable cost decreases. If your quantity remains the same, variable cost remains the same. Agree? Yes or no?
Yes, correct.
Yes or no?
Sir, then I'm not understanding what is the difference between fixed, right? So fixed is also the same, right?
No,
Uh,
here we are talking
if
about variable cost. This is all your raw material. These are part of your variable cost, not fixed cost. Fixed
Okay,
cost is the cost that is used to run your machinery. For example, to run the machinery, you need electricity,
okay,
right? If I am running one time, let's say there is a formula. I need to heat everything, right? Let's say I need to heat the chocolate or I need to mix it, whatever the process that is there. Let us not go in detail into how a chocolate is prepared. Let's assume that you need to convert this raw material into a finished product. For converting, you need to have all this raw material at a specified quantity. That quantity cost you this much per quantity,
correct.
right? If you are using one chocolate, this is the cost per quantity. In short, one chocolate is going to cost you 6.8. Agree? On the other side,
Yeah,
if you are manufacturing 1000 chocolate, this is going to be 6800. It is immaterial whether you use one by one 1000 times or you use at a time 1000 times. My cost is going to be 6800. Agree with me?
oh yes, I get it now.
Right? But on the other side, when I'm talking about my fixed cost, my fixed overhead, let's say I have labor. Let's say when I say labor, for labor I need to pay wage. For labor I need to pay wage. Wages can be paid on a monthly basis. Wages can also be paid on a daily basis. Wages can also be paid on a hourly basis. Agree?
Yes.
For example, I am paying per day is equal to, let's say, 100 rupees. I am going to pay per day 100 rupees. Now labor is not only going to work for this production alone, right? He may be working for other production also, other activities also,
Yeah. Right.
right? Let's say if I am, or labor per hour, let's say, to make it relevant to it, let's say per hour I need to pay 2 rupees to the labor, or 1.5 per hour. Now to prepare or to run machinery, I need 1 hour labor time. To prepare machinery one time, I need 1 hour labor time. Now when I run the machinery for one time, I know that my machinery capability is 1000 chocolate. Agree? Yes or no?
Yeah.
My machinery capability is 1000. It is irrespective. Your labor is not at all concerned about whether you're manufacturing one, you're manufacturing 1000 and all. He simply says, I will be here, I will be operating the machine, I will be doing the cleaning or any other activities. You pay me 1.5 per hour. If I am running this one time, let's say, now run machine for one chocolate one time. Each time when you run the machine, assume that machine has to be on for 1 hour. How much you need to pay here for labor?
1.5.
1.5. On the other side, if I say I run the machine for 1000 chocolates 1000 time, is it still 1.5?
Yes.
Is it still 1.5?
Yes.
Is it still 1.5?
1500.
No.
1.5
No,
into
sir.
1000.
No, sir.
1.5
No.
multiplied by 1000 here. Agree?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
here
sir.
your variable cost is remaining fixed, your fixed cost is becoming variable. Agree? It is becoming ulta pulta here. Meaning, will we be
Yeah.
able to remember by heart in your mind straight away? Possible? Not possible. Name is telling fixed, this is behaving variable. Name is telling variable, this is behaving fixed. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right? Name is
Sir,
fixed,
there is
but behavior
confusion
is
in
variable.
statement 2 and 3.
Right.
There is
So
confusion
these
in
point
statement 2 and 3.
statement,
2 and 3. 1000
this one,
chocolates one time and 1000 chocolate
yeah,
1000
this is
time. So
6.8.
this is
Correct.
getting.
Yeah, this is 6.8. I have not changed it. Now it's okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, since you have now practically understood the behavior or understanding is not fixed here. When I say it is not fixed here, you need to practically understand the business requirement, business scenario, manufacturing process. Accordingly, you need to relate that yes, now I'm able to relate the things, I'm able to understand the things. Once we feel that yes, we are feeling comfortable, only then we need to start understanding, or only then we need to start focusing on CO. Else, these are all the basic fundamental. This is not something related to your SAP controlling. This is your basic fundamental knowledge that you should have before you move on to CO. If these fundamental things are missing, practically we will not be able to understand. Technically, you will be able to configure the system. Okay. Likewise, you need to understand. Now, when you know that these are the components that are required, These are the components that are required. Now you need to prepare a formula. You need to prepare a formula which is to be followed every time to bring the same output. Now to bring the same output every time, I need to make sure same input is given every time. Input will result in your output. Agree? If my input is incorrect, output will also be incorrect.
Yes, sir.
Right? If my input is incorrect, my output will also be incorrect. I will be doing a different kind of experiment. I'll be doing different kind of experiments to make sure that this will give you this much taste. For example, let's say you prepared a chocolate and it is very tasty. It is liked by everybody. Everybody appreciated this. This taste is very good. Everybody liked it. This is not too sweet. This is not this one. Anybody can eat it. It's very good. Now you need to make sure same thing you are going to continue in your actual production. Now the chocolate which is everybody liked, you know that how it was prepared. What portion of milk was used, what portion of cocoa powder was used, what portion of fruit was used, what portion of sugar was used, what portion of nuts were used, and what was the time that you spent at each stage. Agree? Let's say I used 200 ml milk, or I used 50 grams cocoa powder, I used 10 gram fruits, or I used 15 grams chocolate or 15 grams sugar. I used, let's say, 25 gram nuts. First I boiled milk for 5 minutes and then I added the cocoa powder continuously. I was stirring or whatsoever. Any process that is there, along with the time wherever possible, along with the proper dimensions, proper calculations, you'll have to freeze it. When you're freezing this calculation properly, you're not dependent on anybody. Today you're manufacturing, tomorrow I'm manufacturing, somebody else is manufacturing, everybody is following the same formula. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Right? This formula, when you're cooking anything, you call it as a recipe. Am I correct? To cook anything, you call it as a recipe.
Yes, sir. Agreed.
Yes.
Here also you call it as recipe only. Here also you call it as recipe only. One is your bomb and another one is your recipe. The recipe talks about what proportion of a quantity to be utilized for manufacturing your finished product or for your output product. Now this is nothing but a routing. You need to understand there is something called a BOM and then routing. When you're talking about BOM, you should understand what BOM contains. When you're talking about recipe or a routing, you need to understand routing or a recipe is talking about what activities are to be executed, what is the sequence of activities, how it is to be done. So what system is going to understand when you tell the recipe? I am going to tell, let's say, recipe for 10 units, or let's say recipe for 1 unit. It can be anything. I'm not putting any name here again. Recipe for 1 unit is, let's say, everybody drink tea here. Everybody take tea, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. For example, recipe for 1 cup of tea. Let's say I need to make sure. Now here you need to be very specific in terms of everything. It's not that you will bring a big cup for tea. I'll bring very small cup for tea. Somebody will bring a different cup for tea. But you put tea in any cup, it has to be the same taste. Am I correct? You put tea in a
Yes,
big
sir.
cup, you put tea in a small cup, you put tea in a large cup, medium cup. It is not supposed to change based on the cup size. Meaning, when I'm talking about recipe for 1 cup of tea, I need to make sure my instructions, everything will be strictly clear. Let's say this is in bracket, let me put 100 ml tea. In short, to make 100 ml tea cup, what are all the required? Let's say you need milk. Let's say I need milk of 70 ml. Let's say I need tea powder. Let's say 20 grams. I need sugar. Ignore the calculations, I'm randomly putting it. Let's say 30 grams sugar. What else is required?
Water.
Yeah. Water. Let's say I need 50 ml. We're talking about the basic tea. Depending on the variation, if it is ginger tea, you need ginger. If it is XYZ variant tea, that variant you need to add it. So currently, let us go ahead with the plain tea. Or let's say if it is ilachi tea. Let's say I need ilachi 1 quantity. This fine. With this, can we prepare a tea?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, when I make these ingredients, I can make a perfect tea. Just assume that with this composition, when I prepare a tea, it is very good. Now, next time when I prepare tea, let's say I need to prepare tea for 150 members. I need to prepare tea for 150 members. In short, 150 cups. 150 cups of tea order I got it, or I need to manufacture it. It is not possible, or it is practically not ideal for me that I will prepare one tea like this 150 times or 100 times. By the time my 10th tea is done, 9 teas will become cold. By the time my 150 teas are done, 140 teas will become outdated, cold, unusable, undrinkable. Possible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because there are many things which will come into the picture when you are doing the manufacturing process, which you need to take into account. You can do it 150 times, you can do it, but is it practically possible? Is it practically recommended?
No, sir.
No, right? It is practically not recommended. So what you are going to do? You know the logic. You know the logic. What I'll do, I am going to take this as a base. For 150 members, what I'll do? For each cup, I need 70 ml of milk. 70 multiplied by how many cups?
150.
150
150. I need this much. Now tea powder,
ml.
20 into
20 gram.
150.
20 into
20 grams
150. What I'm
multiplied.
doing? Right. I'm simply doing this, whatever is here for 1 multiplied by 150. Here also 50. 50 multiplied by 150. 1 multiplied by 150 is 150. Now I need to convert this into proper calculations. Now here, it is not okay if I say 1000, 10,500. I need to tell in a proper proportion. This is your milk. How do you measure milk? Kilos?
ml.
Liters.
Liter.
Liters.
Liters.
Liter.
Right? I need to divide this by per liter how many ml?
1000.
1000.
Need
1000. Now how many liters of milk I need?
10.5.
10 liter.
10.5
Liter.
liter. Now tea powder is 20 gram. How do you measure tea powder?
kg.
Kg
Kilograms.
only.
kg.
Kg. Kilo.
Alright. So this 3000 divided by per kilo how many grams?
1000.
1000.
1000 grams. How many kg tea powder I need?
3 kg.
3.
3 kg tea powder I need. Now sugar is 3000. How do you measure sugar?
In kgs.
Divided by 1000.
Kg. Divided by how much? 1000.
1000.
1000.
How many
Yes,
kg
sir.
of sugar I require? 4.5.
4.5.
4.5 kg sugar. Water
Liters.
Liter.
7500 divided by per liter how many?
1000.
1000.
1000.
1000
So
ml.
this is 7.5 liter water I need. 7.5
Yes.
liter water I require. This is quantity. Quantity means straightforward. Let's say 150
150.
each. Right? 150 each or 150 units I require. It's not based on the weight. I may be telling that per 1 cup I need to put 1 ilachi. This is the base I am going.
Yes.
That is how I am doing it. Because I cannot measure 0.5 gram ilachi and all, right? I may be measuring in a different way. Let's say per 10 cups I need 2 ilachi. It can be any way. Accordingly, you need to do multiplication or divided by to arrive at the proper quantity. Now, how did we arrive at it? Is this clear from here to here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is there any logic here, or it is straightforward?
Logic is
Straightforward.
This is
Multiplied
straightforward
by 150.
because this is your
Yes, sir.
logic, this is your secret, right? When you know this is secret, to produce one quantity of a material, whatever the recipe that you are following, irrespective of the quantity that you are doing it, you have to strictly follow the same logic. What you are going to do, your quantity multiplied by the routing or the quantity multiplied by the BOM. In the BOM, you are going to maintain what quantity of material required to produce what quantity of output. If this is for 1 cup, I may be making it for 1 cup. If I am making this for 10 cups, then accordingly this will get changed or it will remain same.
Change.
If I make it
Change.
this logic for 10 cups, this will be changed because I need to convert this to 1 and then multiplied by 150. Agree? So what I'll do, I'll take 70 divided by 10 first. Am I correct? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
And then I'll multiply with 150. Then I'm coming at this. Now when I divide this by 1000 again, I'm getting this. Now the numbers are getting changed. Why numbers are getting changed? Here your proportion is changed. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Earlier it is 1 cup. These are the
One.
measurement. Now this is 10 cups. This is the measurement. 10 cups, not 100 ml each. You need to understand all these calculations properly, thoroughly. Only then your costing, only then your calculation is going to happen in SAP. It's not that number is coming but number is not correct. Before you are looking at a number, what is your measurement here? When I say what is your measurement, at what level you have designed it, if you understand it, rest and all is very simple. You can simply take an Excel sheet. Everybody attended asset accounting sessions, right?
Yes, sir.
Or those who attended asset accounting sessions, were we able to calculate the asset numbers, depreciation for any number on any given point of time, profit, loss, depreciation, net book value within the Excel sheet or not? Within the Excel sheet, did we calculate the numbers and we were able to bring the same number from SAP or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because in asset accounting, can you manipulate anything?
No, we
No,
can't do
sir.
anything.
No, you
So everything is
No.
there.
Right? Even in product costing, you cannot manipulate anything. The moment you create the order, production order, everything will come automatically. All your planned cost, all your actual cost, variance, everything will show automatically. You need to backtrace how these values are coming. In the Excel sheet, if you are able to plot the numbers, in the SAP also it should be the same number. I know that this is my material rate and this is the activity that I am performing. I am paying 10 rupees to labor. I am paying 500 per cylinder, whatsoever. If I put together all my values, I am arriving at some x value of rate per cup. From SAP also I should get the same number, right? I know what is my actual, and SAP is also supposed to bring the same actual or not based on your input. Whether these things are happening or not, you need to properly make a note of it. Meaning you are not supposed to get deviated, you are not supposed to get confused anywhere, because any deviation, any confusion will completely mess up everything. When I say it is going to mess up everything, you're not supposed to put any product name until you are clear with the calculation part. When I say until you are clear with the calculation part, let it be only product. When I say let it be only product, finished product, raw material. What is that material? What is this product? Put no name for it. Product means product, finished product, that's it. Raw material means raw material. Raw material 1, 2, 3, 4 you use it. Don't put any names. The moment you start putting name, that is where you start thinking out of the box. When you start thinking
Ajay, in
out
the
of the box,
chocolate example, if you can write there per unit, then it will be more clarified because there is bit confusion. If you go to the chocolate space, there if you write the per unit, because it's bit confusing still. Can you please go
what?
to where you have written that chocolate example, no?
Hmm.
Yeah, little
Okay.
bit below. Come below, little. Yeah, here, the second line, 6.8. There, if you write per unit, then it will be. Otherwise, I'm still thinking how for 1,000 chocolates is 6.8. So it is per unit.
This is per machine run. No, this is per chocolate.
Machine hour rate, if you talk about that,
That this is
then
your labor. This is your raw material cost.
okay. So if it is 1,000 chocolates also instead of one chocolate, then for one time it's still 6.8. Because when the quantity increases, the values also increases, right?
Which one? No, I'm talking
The run
about
machine.
machine here.
Oh,
One time if you are doing it, it's like that.
one time also, when the quantity of chocolate increases, cocoa powder, foods, all the ingredients will be increased. So that 6.8 is coming from the ingredients only, na? It's not coming from
Yeah,
machine.
yeah. This will be 6,800. I think somebody told it is different. This will be 6,800 only. It is based on your quantity.
That's what.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Okay, that's where. That is the reason I'm telling. We are not supposed to put any product name until we are clear with each single dot. Once we are done with the maximum dots that are required for us to join, at that time when we are joining it, you will be able to understand, you will be able to tell me in return, no, it is supposed to be like this. Now what will happen, because we are taking different example, when I put a chocolate, you will think in a different way. When I put a biscuit, you will think in a different way. When I put any XYZ product, we will start thinking in a different way, because irrespective of the product, your logic is the same. When we know that the logic is the same, we need to first focus on the logic, catch the logic, understand the concept, then you take any product. It is immaterial, because tomorrow there is no rule. You are working only for a particular client, particular organization, particular industry, particular XYZ. Wherever you are going, when you're talking about product costing, logics, fundamentals will remain the same. All this information will be given to you by your client in detailed, point to point. You don't need to apply your mind here. You do not have to apply any mind here. Everything will be provided by the client to you. They are the one who is manufacturing it. They are the one who are going to tell to you. You just need to understand what process is followed there and where cost is coming, how they want to bifurcate the cost, at what level they want to look at the cost. Okay, these points, when you're able to understand, if you can understand their business process from whatever your client is explaining it to you, and the inputs that you're taking from your PP consultant. You have a module called production planning, PP. The PP consultant will finalize the process. When the PP consultant is finalizing the process, you need to understand inputs which are provided by the PP consultant. That is where you are going to provide your inputs from the costing side. In short, CO point of view. It is not that you are a decision taker here. You are the facilitator. You are going to tell how you can track the cost. You are going to tell how you can track the cost, whether it is possible, not possible, based on the manufacturing process that is decided along with the PP consultant. It's not that you're alone going to do everything here. Most of the things, majority of the things in the product costing are going to be determined by the PP module. And you need to understand how PP module works. Similarly, understand how materials are coming, how your materials are evaluated, how you are going to bring the material. There are two ways. You can manufacture your raw material internally, you can procure the raw material externally. If you are manufacturing internally, that's a different process. If you are procuring outside, that's a different process. All these things slowly we need to make sure, okay, now I'm able to understand, now I'm able to relate it. At least I am out of my confusion. Initially, there are a lot of confusion because, as I mentioned, this is not a fixed content which is based on this particular rules and regulation. You can make your own rule, I can make my own rule. But irrespective of your rule or my rule, you need to understand the logic. If you are going by the logic, if you are going by the concept, you will be able to understand any rule. But if you are not going by the logic, not going by the concept, rule to rule, there are differences. When I say rule to rule, there are differences. These can be understood only when you are conceptually clear, logically clear. Focus on those concepts, focus on those logic, which will allow you to feel more than confident in your CO. When I say more than confident, even though you are not configuring it, but still you will be able to understand, still you will be able to talk confidently. Clear, right? Like this, slowly you need to understand. The moment you put the material quantity, whenever you are starting any manufacturing, you'll have to create a PP order. You'll be creating a production order. When you're creating a production order, you'll have to tell the output quantity. You'll have to tell output quantity and then output material. In this example, what is your output material? In this
Chocolate.
example,
13.
in this
Chocolate.
example, in this example that you are able to see on the screen now.
Okay.
Hmm?
A cup of tea.
Tea.
Like
Tea
tea.
is
Elachity.
the
Elachity
Elachity.
tea.
Sorry. Elachity.
This is your material. This is called as your output material. Output material is also called as header material or BOM material. Elachity. What is the output quantity? For example, I need to prepare 100 quantity. I'm just talking about 100 quantity. This is 1 cup, or I'll say 100 cups here. I'm just telling 100 cups of tea I require. What system will do? System will automatically tell that to prepare 100 cups of tea, it will multiply. Automatically everything will happen. System will tell you, okay, you wanted to prepare 100 cups of tea. Please make sure you are going to put milk 70 multiplied by how many cups?
100 cups.
100
100
cups.
cups.
70 multiplied by 100 means 7000 divided by 1000 ml. It will be 7 liter of milk. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right? Milk is equal to 7 liter. Now, if you are doing manually, assuming that this is the required quantity, this is the required raw material quantity. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
This is the required raw material quantity, 7 liter of milk. For example, with me, I have only 6.2 liter of milk. If you are doing it manually, what we will do, you will put 6.2 liter milk, balance amount you will adjust with water. Am I correct? If you are doing it
Yes, sir.
manually.
Yes, sir.
Milk is a shortage, you are not going to tell, no, milk is not there, you come tomorrow. You are going to tell it to the customer, or you will manage with water, or you will manage it somewhere or the other way. You are going to manage it. But in this system, if your raw material quantity is not sufficient, your production order cannot be created. It says that material is not there. It says that material deficit or a raw material is not available. Please bring or please purchase the additional raw material. Please bring the additional raw material, or system says that no, material is not sufficient. Immediately you'll have to alert the procurement team. We got an order for 100 cups of tea. Currently there is only 6.2 liter of milk. Please bring the stock. Then immediately procurement team will say that okay, they'll place the order. They'll bring another 10 liters of milk additionally. What will happen? the stock from 6.2, it will become 16.2. Now 7 liters can be consumed from 16.2 liter.
Yes.
Right? Earlier it was 6.2. If your available milk is 6.2, you cannot consume 7 liter, right? But whereas if your available milk is 16.2 liter, you can easily consume 7 liter. All these things are automatically taken care by the system with the help of PP module. They say that availability control or MRP plans, material requirement plans, different functionalities are there. Based on those functionalities, all these things are taken care. If I am not adding 7 liter milk, if I am adding 6.2 liter of milk, balance I am managing with water. Can I bring the same taste?
No.
Oh,
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No.
I cannot bring the same taste. If I am not bringing the same taste, my product will have a negative remark, which I am not going to accept.
quality.
Right?
Quality will reduce.
Right? Your
Yes,
quality
sir.
will get damaged. In every organization, there is something called quality checked. Even again, when you look at the product, there is something called QC. Most of the times, there will be a tick mark. Right? Quality checked. Yes or no? If
Yes,
you look
sir.
at some product boxes again, you will find something called quality checked or quality tested. Now, to check the quality of 100 cups, do you need to drink 100 cups of tea?
No, sir. One
No.
cup of
Just
tea.
need to test it. Right? You're just going to test it. When you're testing it, it is fine. Now, when you're actually manufacturing 100 cups of tea, will there be any wastage or no wastage?
Ajay, FIFO
There will
LIFO
be some
comes under
wastage.
PP module.
Hmm?
FIFO LIFO comes under PP module or CO module? First in, first out.
That is combination of all the modules, because it depends on what material you're using. Because certain materials you'll have to consume the latest one first, certain materials you'll have to consume oldest one first. It again depends on the product. Some material, if you are using old one, it will be a problem. Certain materials, if you are using the new one, it will be a problem. It is again the dual impact. For example, you are using any kind of raw material which is available or which will be fresh for only 2 days. Now, when I'm doing a manufacturing, I got a stock yesterday, I got a stock today. Is it ideal to use today's stock or yesterday's stock?
In that case, wastage will be there, no, for the old stock.
No, 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 no. You didn't get my point. Let's say there is a raw material. Okay. Raw material 1 is there. This life is equal to 2 days. Okay. I have stock of today. I have stock of yesterday. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I will use the old one first.
Right? You need to consume this.
First in,
Otherwise, this
first
will
out.
become waste. But there are certain
Yes, sir.
things,
FIFO.
the more it becomes old, and it will give you more taste. In some situation, old one will give you the more taste, today's one will give you the less taste. In that case, you are going to use the old one. Right? It
Yes, sir.
depends on the product, it depends on the process, it depends on various factors. So there you are going to have something called batch management. You have something called batch. Even when you look at anything, there is something called batch number, right? If you look at any product again, turn back, you'll find a batch number.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir.
That will tell you date and the time and the machinery location. There are certain parameters which will be taken into consideration to derive a batch number. This is again taken care by the side. They will take care of the batch number ranges. By looking at the batch number, there is a logic behind it. The way you are identifying your profit center, first 4 digits are my company code, next 2 digits are product code, last 4 digits are my departmental code. Likewise, in a similar way, when you look at any batch number, it will have a decode it. When you decode the batch number, you will be able to find out the date, time, location, the machinery, all these kind of things which were used, or based on what parameter the product is manufactured, how many quantities manufactured, where this quantity is supplied. You'll be able to trace everything with that batch number. Okay, this is again a different thing. These are all taken care by the logistics team, meaning your MM side, PP side, SD side, they will be taking care of it. Tomorrow, in any lot, there is a defect. In any lot, there is a defect. You will be able to easily find out with the help of a batch number, right? This material will be tagged to a batch number. Whenever you do material in, material out, it will always go along with the batch number. So whenever you look at any stock report, material report, it will give you along with the batch number. Same material,
You mean
yesterday's stock is
product code,
2
right?
quant. Yeah, correct.
Product code, no? Okay.
Product code. It is as simple as like you take, let's say, rent GL you take. My total value in the rent GL is 1000 rupees. Okay. But admin cost center, finance cost center, HR cost center, I can differentiate this. Let's say 500 is here, 200 is here, 200 is here. Can I segregate it? If my rent is 1000, can I segregate my rent based on different characteristics, maybe cost center, maybe profit center? Different dimensions can I use to split this 1000?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can.
Everything is rent only, but within the rent I'm able to segregate it, right? Similarly, everything is the same material, but you are segregating it based on the batch number. Whenever you are selling it, you need to make sure you are selling from which batch. And tomorrow when you pull the report, you can easily find out this batch material is sold to these many customers. And this material is currently lying in this plant or this is storage location. It is in transit. All these things you can easily trace. These are all taken care by the logistics. In short, the MM said this information can be easily traced. Okay. See, most of the things are similar to what we are already learnt, what we have already understood from your FICO side. It is just that we need to link everything. When I say you need to link everything, when you are able to connecting, when you are able to relate it with what you are already aware of it, you will not find it difficult. You will be starting to think that yes, this is something which I'm already aware of. I'm able to relate it now. The moment you are able to relate it now, that is when you are in a stage where you are at a good time to understand CO. Okay. But like this, we need to understand in this situation, when you are doing this, when you're doing it, will there be any scrap or not? Do you get any scrap?
Yes, sir.
You'll get some
Yeah,
scrap.
sir.
So this scrap, yeah, this scrap can be reused. This scrap cannot be reused. Agree?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Some scrap can be reused. Some scrap cannot be reused. Meaning, some scrap you can use it internally. Some scrap you can sell it to outside.
Yes, sir.
So that's where you are going to talk about something called buy and co-product. You would have heard these kind of terms, right? Byproduct, co-product, yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? You would have heard something called byproduct, co-product. These things slowly you need to understand how and why we will be using it. I think Gandhi, can you please close your camera? Okay, we need to understand what is
Yes, sir.
byproduct, what is co-product, how these are used. Forget about how these are coming, from where these are coming, just ignore it at this moment, but just try to understand these things are there, these things are possible when you do a production. Then when you're actually looking at from the CO point of view, product cost point of view, material ledger point of view, actual costing point of view, or COPA point of view, marginal analysis point of view, you'll be able to relate the things. When I say you will be able to relate the things, generally as a basic fundamental point of view, if you are not clear about the logic, when you are coming inside the SAP, you will not be clear about the logic. There is no doubt about it. Don't assume, don't think that though you do not know these fundamentals, you will be able to understand the CO. Practically 100% not possible. I'm not telling 90% not possible. I am telling 100% not possible for you to understand CO. Technically, you can complete CO. Technically, you can configure CO. Practically, logically, conceptually, 100% not possible without the fundamental understanding. With this, you will be able to easily manage. In fact, you can learn on your own also. Because you can take an example. When I say you can take an example, when you're practicing controlling, create a material called tea, put a material master called ilachi tea, and then create this material. And you know that what is the cost for everything. You understand. Can you buy milk for 70 ml? Can I go to a shop, ask for somebody, give me 70 ml milk? Will anybody sell me?
No, I need to
No.
buy at least 1 liter or half liter.
But to prepare a chai, to prepare a tea, can I use 1 liter?
No.
No.
Meaning it is not exactly matching from any point of view, right? While buying, I cannot, nobody is selling me 70 ml milk. While selling, nobody is buying from me 1 liter milk, 1 liter tea. So I need to make sure how I am going to adjust it. Because you are not going to manufacture 1 cup of tea, you are not going to buy 70 ml of tea. But then why we are talking about 70 ml here? This is called as recipe. When I say this is called a recipe, this recipe you are going to freeze at a fixed quantity, either for 1 quantity or for 100 quantity or for 25 quantity, depending on the product. When I say depending on the product, it depends. Some product you may need 1, some product you may need 5 and all. When I say for some product you may need 1 and 5. For example, I need to prepare any other. You can take in, for example, I need to prepare, let's say, I need to make a curry. If I need to make a curry, can I put measurement for counting or I need to put measurement for weight?
Wait.
Wait, sir.
For example, I need to prepare, let's say, chicken curry I need to prepare. What is your base? Can I say that 15 pieces of chicken, or I need to say 500-gram chicken or 1 kg chicken, like that? What is the base here? What is the
Wait,
ideal
wait.
base? It has to be
Grams.
based on the weight, right? To prepare 1 kg chicken, I'm going to tell, okay, you bring 3 onion, you bring 2 tomato, you bring ginger garlic paste of how much? Should I put 1 bottle of ginger garlic paste? No. There should be a dimension, right? There should be a measurement according to which you need to follow. Likewise, depending on the product, everything is subject to change. Depending on the product, here I'm not talking about 1 gram chicken, right? Here I'm talking about 1 cup. Here I'm not talking about 1 gram chicken. Here I'm not talking about 100-gram chicken. I'm not taking onion as a base. I'm not taking any other thing as a base, but I'm taking chicken as a base. Why? For certain things, there are no logic. We will understand by default. Anybody got it out? Why you're telling 500-gram chicken only? Why can't you take bases? What you say? 3 onion, 2 tomato? Because nobody will call it as onion curry, tomato curry. You are going to call it as chicken curry. Meaning you need to understand what is your end product. If you are not able to understand, identify your end product, you cannot move forward with your manufacturing process. Agree? Slowly we need to understand different points, because this will differ in different terms. When I say this is going to differ in different terms, slowly we need to make sure, we need to tune our mind that okay, I am able to understand now. The moment you start feeling that yes, I am able to understand, you will be in a position to take different examples on your own. Take examples of a product that you are aware of, that you are seeing in your day-to-day life. Do not take any example that you are not aware of. For example, if I say I am manufacturing a laptop, I am manufacturing a mobile phone. Do you really know how a mobile is manufactured? don't take that example. For example, if you tell, I'm talking about, let's say, water. Do you really know how mineral water is manufactured? Have you seen the process? Yes, no?
No,
No.
sir.
What is
As
your
he asking,
product, Ajay?
Okay. Any product that you do not know how it is manufactured, end to end, I'm talking about, not at a high level. I know to manufacture a mobile phone, panel is required, screen is required, battery is required, or any other keypad is required. Don't talk about those points. That is high level, everybody knows it. But to do a process, to execute the scenario, you must know end to end. Anything that you know end to end, only those things you take as an example for your initial understanding. Once you are thorough, once you are clear with your initial understanding, then you are free to replace anything. When I say you are free to replace anything in any organization, they are going to tell you all this information. You are going to put finished product, your client will tell what is the finished product. You are talking about different conversion process. Your client will tell how they are converting RM into finished, meaning how they are converting raw material into finished product. Your client is going to tell. But if you know at a high level, then only it is practically possible for us to relate. Otherwise, practically this is not possible. Look at the product. You've taken idli, you know how idli is prepared. You understand how idli is prepared, what is my cost of production. If you are, let's say, at your family there are 5 members, okay, everybody eats 4 idlis, 4 idli per head. So one day morning for your family to have breakfast, how many idlis are required?
20 idlis.
Minimum 20.
Right, you need it 20. Let's say that everybody eats only 4, nobody is eating more than 4, nobody is eating less than 4. Let's go ahead with 20 idli. Now if you wanted to feed 4 idli per head in your family, is it ideal to prepare at home, or is it ideal to buy it outside, buy in a hotel? Hmm?
Prepare a home
There
is
will
good,
be,
sir.
Right,
uh,
there are 2 3 factors that you are going to consider. One of the factor is cost. Agree? Is this the factor or not? Is this the key factor or not? Why you are preparing at
major
home?
major factor.
Yes.
Right? For example, only one person needs idli. Only one person out of 5 people, only one person needs idli. Then is it ideal you prepare at home, or you go buy outside? You bring a parcel.
Will eat outside, sir.
You bring outside. You simply go bring an outside parcel. 20 rupees, 30 rupees. It's all over done. Meaning here also
but
again cost is a
consider
factor.
time. Time
Here
also
also cost is a
considered.
factor. Correct. Time and cost is also considered. Because if you manufacture 4 idlis, will it be completed in 20 rupees or 30 rupees? No, right? 20, 30 rupees, easily you'll get plate idli outside, yes or no? But to manufacture it, you are going to incur more than what you are going to spend outside, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So these points slowly we need to relate. Company also thinks in the similar way. When I say company also thinks in the similar way, that's where you have a point called make versus buy. Either buying is ideal or making is ideal. That's where they are going to decide whether we need to manufacture in-house or buy outside. Wherever it is feasible, wherever it is profitable to manufacture in-house, you will be manufacturing in-house. Wherever it is not profitable, you don't find any much margin, lot of effort is going on, lot of wastage is going on, you prefer buying outside, right? You prefer procuring outside. These fundamental points, slowly when you remember, slowly when you understand, it will be easy for us to practically connect. Take simple example, though these examples sound very silly, but you will practically gain a lot of understanding from here. When I say you will practically gain understanding, next time when somebody is making it, you look at it. Whenever you have tea or whenever you have anything which is prepared at your home, usually you will feel the same taste every time, right? Agree? Majoritarily, or anything that you eat at your home,
Yes,
sometimes
sir.
it may be, here and there. Some today you like same thing, tomorrow you may not like it because taste is not okay. Why taste is not okay? Maybe raw material is not good, that is hampering your taste. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Right? Like this there are so many factors. So I can tell one factor, this is how it is like this, then I'm wrong. Then you'll have to think from different perspective. Take an example which you are aware of. When I say take an example which you are aware of, and then see all the permutations and combinations of it. How the product can be improved, how the product can be destroyed, how you can make it better with the cost, okay, how you can reduce your cost but increase your productivity, output and all, you'll have to say it. Then it will be more ideal, more easier for you to understand. Organization also wants to do the same thing, right? They want to save the cost and then they increase the profit. They also need to follow the same fundamental logic. Whatever we are using in day-to-day life, same fundamental, same logic will be used in the organization, which we need to understand. These points, if you are able to relate in the organization, when you're in a project tomorrow, you will be able to understand, because practically product to product, when you look at the terminology, process and all, you will not even understand what is that. Forget about understanding, we cannot even pronounce those terms, those process and all. It will be so tricky, it will be so difficult. Looking at the terminology, looking at that name and all, you will be going mad, what is this and all. But you need to work on it. Tomorrow, no other go, you need to work on that. But it is not your role, it is not your task to understand how and what they are doing it. They are going to explain you everything, how they are doing it, what they are doing it, what quantity they are doing it. It is simply understand what they are doing it, how they are doing it. When they explain it, map it in SAP. Most of the things are taken care by PP side, MM side, SD side, FI side. And you just have to understand from where cost is coming, how I need to analyze it, how my reports are coming, how I am planning it, how my variances are coming, how these variances are getting settled. All these things you need to understand. And again, here there are different things. When I say different things, whenever you're talking about any product, any manufacturing, usually we call it as stock based, order based. There are certain products you are going to manufacture it, you are going to stock it. There are certain product you will manufacture only when you get an order. Agree? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For example, I will take a cake. Where do you find cake? What is the place you get a cake? What is that place
Order.
called? What is the place where you get the cake? Hospital?
Bakery.
Bakery.
Bakery. Bakery, sir.
Bakery. Right? Meaning you also need to understand these points. It's not enough if you know, if you take a product, you should also know where it is available. It is part of which sector and all. Slowly you need to connect one by one. Okay, you take a bakery. Every bakery will have a cake as a product. Agree? In every bakery, you will find some cakes for sale in display. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right? Let's say there are some cakes. Let's say chocolate cake is there, vanilla is there. Let's say butterscotch is there. What else? What else cakes you will get?
Red velvet.
Red velvet, brownie,
Strawberry.
Right?
strawberry.
Making
Red
me
velvet.
hungry.
Yeah, red velvet. Let's say you have
Apple cake, sir.
strawberry. right? Let's say you also have apple cake. Now these are all the common things that you will find in every bakery. Agree? Yes, no? Whatever the bakery you go, most likely you are going to find it,
Yes, sir.
right? Does bakery need any order from customer to prepare this cake, or they prepare generally on as a daily practice?
Generally.
Right? They are going to prepare on a daily basis, right? They don't know when the customer will come, but these are the regularly moving cakes, and they're not going to put chocolate cake of 10 kg, chocolate cake of 5 kg, 3 kg, right? Usually what is the quantity that they'll be putting? Maybe half a kg, 1 kg, maximum of 2 kg. Anybody will put beyond this quantity in the display?
No, sir.
Yes, no? Next time when
Yes,
you
sir.
go to any shops, any places, when you're looking at the products, apply your mind. Look at it. Why they are not, why, what kind of a quantity they are putting in the display. They can sell it to anybody, right? These cakes are open for sale to any customer, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? These are open for sale for any customer. Now cake will stay for 1 month or 1 year or 2 3 days.
Two,
Only
3
2,
2,
days.
3
3
days.
days.
2 3 days. For example, I'll take butterscotch cake manufactured today. I'll take butterscotch cake manufactured today, or this is manufactured on 20th. Let's say cake life is 3 days. It will be fresh for 3 days. After 3 days, it is not okay for to eat, or it will lose the taste. Now what I will do, one cake is left today. Now today is what, 22nd. Today is the last day that I need to sell this cake. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I know that. I know if I'm going to sell it or not. If I'm not going to sell it, am I going to throw it, or I'm going to cut and sell it as a pastry?
Cut and sell it also.
Right? I'll cut the butterscotch cake into 6 pieces. I will tell per piece 40 rupees, per piece 50 rupees. Yes or no? You'll have to understand the different strategies that are applied, that are used by the business. And when you are slowly thinking to do it, now will anybody manufacture pastry separately, or they prepare the cake, they cut the cake?
They
How
prepare
your
the cake
pastries are?
like
They prepare a normal cake and then they cut it, right? Now similarly, when I'm talking about order based cake, let's say there is an occasion. Let's say somebody is celebrating 25 year, or somebody is celebrating 50 year, or some kind of SAP go live is happening. Everybody knows for every SAP go live there is a cake cutting. Everybody is aware of it.
yes.
Yes, no? For
Yes,
every
yes.
SAP go live there is a cake cutting.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
say you are working for a client called Acer. That's what the recent company code. You are working for Acer India. Now you know that there is a cake cutting ceremony. There is a go live ceremony for which you are going to gather, let's say, 100 employees. 100 employees will be part of go live ceremony, maybe including your key users, your management, consulting team. There will be 100 employees. Can I bring 1 kg cake here?
No, sir.
No,
Can I
sir.
bring 2 kg cake here?
No, sir.
Let's say I need approximately, just assume that I need 8 kg cake. Okay, let's say that we are planning to cut 8 kg cake. Can I go get it in any bakery?
No.
Okay, one bakery guy is very smart. He's telling, okay, you why to cut one? You take chocolate 2 kg, this 2 kg, this 2 kg, and then you cut it. You're okay with it?
No, sir.
No.
You're getting 8 kg, but he's telling, I'll give you 2 kg chocolate cake, 2 kg red velvet cake, and all. He's trying to convince you in a different way, but you're not okay because here you have a specific requirement. You say that my cake size should be square. Let's say that you are telling a dimension, my cake should be square like this, and here you should put our company logo, you should put something called SAP Go Live, and then you should put a date and all. You should put congratulations, something, some message you wanted to put. You wanted to decorate the cake with your company logo and all. Yes or no? Do you get ready-made cakes like this, or you need to place the order?
Place the
Yeah,
order.
need to
Place the
place
You
the
order.
order.
should place the order, sir.
You should place the order. Now these are all your order-based manufacturing. For this, no need to get any order. You know that on an average, you are going to sell 3-4 cakes. Majoritarily fast moving cake is, let's say, your red velvet, apple, strawberry. Those cakes you are going to manufacture at a higher quantity, because you don't need any customer to place the order. You don't need any customer to place the order. If customers are coming within the useful days, you are selling it. If not, maybe 1 day or 2 days before, you will cut the cake, you will sell it as a pastry. But here, unless and until somebody comes and place the order, you don't know the requirement, right? Here you are going to start your manufacturing only when you get the order from the customer. That too after taking the advance from the customer. What if I'll come today, I'll tell you prepare a nice cake like this and all, tomorrow I will disappear, I'll abscond. What will you do with this cake? You're at a loss or not? Order is not enough, you also need confirmed order. Yes or no? How do you confirm the order? By taking the advance, or just like that? You will
And
accept
we pay
order
some
from
amount.
anybody,
By
you
taking the
will start
advance.
manufacturing. Meaning everything is logical, everything is, you're able to relate things or not? When you're talking about CO product costing, only these things will be there from the business point of view, nothing else. You're just going to add these things in the CO point of view, from the CO terminology, from the CO configuration perspective. But if these fundamentals you are not able to understand, after understanding your CO configuration, after doing all the CO config, if I simply tell you that there is an order from Acer customer, they want this cake to be manufactured. I want you to create Acer as a customer. I want you to create Acer as a customer. Then I want you to create cake as a product. Then start manufacturing. Tell me the amount quotation. You are going to tell the quotation or not here? You know the quotation or not? For 8 kg cake, if you say it will cost you around, let's say, 8,500. 8,500. This 8,500 is what? Cost or price? Cost price or selling price?
Selling price.
Selling price.
This is the selling price. This is your selling price. Now, when you do the manufacturing, your manufacturing cost or your total cost of production, will it be 8,500 or less than 8,500?
Less than, sir.
Less than, sir.
Less than 8,500. Then how come you are able to tell immediately it will cost 8,500? Because you know the product cost. Because you are the manufacturer, you know to manufacture 1 kg cake how much it will cost. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
How you know? Because you are already in the field, you already have different kind of cost sheets, you already have different kind of cost estimations. Because you are going to manufacture, you've already manufactured in the past, you know that to manufacture 1 kg cake, what are all the input materials that are required, what will be the cost of it, and what will be the rate that you are going to sell it to the customer to get the profit. Now this is a customized order, you can charge more also, agree? There is a chance to charge more here or not? I can say that this is a fancy cake. Only when you pay this much, we will take the order. Otherwise, we will not. I may say that, for example, if you are placing the order 2 days before, that's a different story. Tonight you are placing the order. Tomorrow morning you want the cake. It is difficult for me. I may say that no, if it is 2 days before, this is this much. If you are placing order today, you want it tomorrow, I will sell it you, but I will charge 12,000 because I need to ask my staff to stay to prepare your cake now. For that, I need to pay them additional money. Possible or not?
Possible, sir.
Right? Now here cost is increasing, cost is decreasing based on different factors or not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right? All these factors, all these points, slowly you need to understand. When you're able to understand these points, these factors, then only this thing is going to happen. These are all the basic things that I'm talking, which you, I, everybody knows on their day-to-day life. If I take a product which is related to any industry and all, you will go mad. Next minute you will leave the session because you don't understand what it is. When there is no clarity on the product, what you are looking at it, how come you will understand the logic, scenario, concept behind it? It is practically not possible. Clear, right? So far, we are able to relate it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Interesting, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, fine then. Let me stop this here. The remaining portion or the additional points we will cover in the next session. Okay, good night.